بما كانوا يفسقون قل لا أقول لكم عندي خزائن الله ولا أعلم الغيب ولا أقول لكم إني ملك إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي قل هل يستوي الأعمى والبصير أفلا تتفكرون وأنذر به الذين يخافون أن يحشروا إلى ربهم ليس لهم من دونه ولي ولا شفيع لعلهم يتقون صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. As the tradition is, I usually say the sources of these ayat. This is in the Qurans that have the same page, Maulana Constantine. This is page 133. And this is from Surah Al-An'am, Surah number 6, from ayah number 48 to ayah number 51. As I mentioned before, if we include in our busy schedule, if not a lot of Quran, but one page of Quran, but also pay attention to that meaning and the reason those ayat has been sent, then you can come and sit here and replace me, and I'll be happy to listen to it, because we need to take lessons from Quran. As somebody smarter than me said, when we want to talk to Allah, we have Dua Kumel, we have dua, have different du'as. We ask Allah, Ilahi wa Rabbi man li ghayruk, and Dua Kumel, and we ask for guidance. But when Allah wants to talk to us, or talks to Rasul, He talks through the Quran, and the message comes from the Quran. These ayat that I just read, it's from Surah Al-An'am. I'm not very sophisticated. I brought the computer because I felt like the translations that I read before, it was kind of harder to understand. But I found, I did some research today, and I found a better translation. So I want to make sure I don't make a mistake, and I can read the translation that is better to understand, and then I tell you why I read these ayats. So Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We do not send apostles but to give good tidings and to warn. Then those who believe or reform will have neither fear or no regrets. But those who deny our messages will be seized by nemesis for being disobedient. And then it asks the Prophet, it says, tell them, I do not say that I possess the treasures of God, and or have knowledge of the unknown, or that I'm an angel. I'm just a Rasul. And I only follow what is sent down to me, and say, how can a blind man or a man who can see be the same? And finally, in the last ayah, warn those who fear through this Quran that they will be gathered before their Lord, and they will have none to protect or intercede for them apart from him. They may happily take heed for themselves. In other words, the fears. So this is, today or yesterday was the shahadat of Imam Hassan al-Mushtaba. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And many places in the Quran, when the mushrikeen would approach the Prophet and ask for a miracle or something to show that he is other than just a human being, ayat like these came that it says, you were sent to give him the message. Sometimes even to give tasbiyah to the Prophet himself, that he gets, that these people are not accepting my messages. And he says, you have only duty, you're just a messenger. You deliver the message, and if they take it, fine. If they not take it, then they have to be one day to be resurrected and answer to that. So another Friday passed, and we didn't see our Imam al-Zaman now. And this majlis belongs to him, and we're the mourner of our Ma'asumeen. And I couldn't help myself today to think that we take many roles. You know, we are just basic human beings, get up in the morning and offer our prayers. And also, then we come here, we become Az-Zahra Imam Hussein. Then we become the Khadamah for this center, and people come in as a guest of Az-Zahra Alayhi Salam and Ahlul Bayt. So you see, during the day we are an ordinary person, we are a worshipper, then become ordinary person, became a businessman, doctors, many. But we are actually presenting ourselves to the society. So that puts a lot of weight and duty on us. And when we come here, we become the mourner of Imam Hussein, and we thank Allah. As somebody said, what would you have done if we didn't have the Imam Hussein? It's against the grain of every single person that is here today. And then at the end, we become Khidmat Guzar Imam Hussein, but we hope that we get the blessings and their intercession and the akhirah. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For the love of the Holy Prophet and his holy family, please recite the second salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. For the reappearance of our 12th Imam, please recite the third salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The marsiya that I have tonight is about the events that took place in the court of Yazid. रसने जुल्म में नन्ही सी कलाई होगी मुजरई कैसे सकीना को मुजरई कैसे सकीना को कलाई होगी नौजवाने जो सीने पखाई होगी मुजरई कै में से ज़ैनब मुजरई कै में से ज़ैनब निकल आई होगी शबे आशूर ये आती थी सदाए ज़हरा सुबह को मेरे भरे घर की सुबह को मेरे भरे घरे घरे की सफाई होगी। बीबियाँ कहती थी ये रात गनीमत जानो, कल तो एक जान पलाखों की, कल तो एक जान पलाखों की चढ़ाई होगी। नातमा देख के आबिद को ये बोले राहगीर, हाय किसने इसे जंजीर, हाय किसने इसे जंजीर पिन्हाई होगी। रसने जुल्म में सलवात अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आले मुहम्मद। जब महफिले यजीद में दाखिल हरम हुए, गशाया हर कदम पर ये जुल्मो सितम हुए। ज़ैनब पुकारी हादिसे ऐसे भी कम हुए, सर कट गया हुसैन का सर नंगे हम हुए। क्यों आसमां गिर नहीं पड़ता दुहाई है, ज़हरा की बेटी सामने हाकिम के आई है, ज़हरा की बेटी सामने हाकिम के आई है। मौजूद अंजुमन में सगीरो कबीर है, हाकिम के गिर्द कुर्सियों पर सब अमीर है। खासाने ज़ुलजलाल ज़लीलो हक़ीर है, मुश्किल कुशा के खुर्दो कला सब असीर है। कह दे कोई अली से ये दारुस्सलाम में, ज़ैनब का दाखिला हुआ दरबार आम में, ज़ैनब का दाखिला हुआ दरबार आम में। ऐ लोगो करबला से मेरे भाई को बुलाओ, ऐ लोगो मेरे गेसों वाले जवान को लाओ, ऐ लोगो मेरा हादिसा अब्बास को सुनाओ, ऐ लोगो यादगार हसन से कहो के आओ। खासिम से हाय कुछ ना कुमक इस घड़ी हुई, ये बाल खोले किसकी दुल्हन है खड़ी हुई, ये बाल खोले किसकी दुल्हन है खड़ी हुई। होकर असीर दुख्तरे हातिम जो आई थी, नाना ने मेरे खुद उसे चादर उड़ाई थी। पोशाक अम्मा ने नहीं उसको पिन्हाई थी, सबको ये पास था कि सखी की वो जाई थी। उम्मत को हाय पासे रसूले खुदा नहीं, ज़ैनब बरहना सर है और उनको हया नहीं, ज़ैनब बरहना सर है और उनको हया नहीं। बाबा को मेरे पूछ तो कैसा सखी है वो, मुश्किल कुशा है कुल का खुदा का वली है वो। नाना को मेरे देखो के सबका वली है वो, भाई के सदक़े फ़क्र नबियो अली है वो। मेरी क़ब्र असीरी में लेता नहीं कोई, कपड़ा भी मुँह छिपाने को देता नहीं कोई, कपड़ा भी मुँह छिपाने को भी देता नहीं कोई। दरबार में यजीद यजीद के हर सू था इज्तिहाम, थर्रा रहे थे बेत के मानिंद खास व आम। बैठा था तख्ते नहस पर वो नुत्फ़े हराम, एक हाथ में तो शीशा था एक हाथ में था जाम। बालाए तख्त शुगल था उसको शराब का, और ज़ेरे तख्त सर था गलफ बू तुराब का, और ज़ेरे तख्त सर था गलफ बू तुराब का। हाजिर वहाँ था एक फिरंगी भी उस घड़ी, रो कर कहा यजीद से उसने क्या है शकी, तेरे मुआमले से लरसता है मेरा जी। सर है तबक में जिसका ये मुजरिम है क्या कोई, हाशा जो मैं कहूँ कि ये अहले क़ुसूर है। जुल्फ़ों में बुए मुश्क है चेहरे पर नूर है, जुल्फ़ों में बुए मुश्क है चेहरे पर नूर है। तेरे मुआमले से मेरा होश जाता है, क्या हर्फ बद तुझे ये कटा सर सुनाता है। जो चोबे बेद उसके लबों पर लगाता है, कोई भी हाथ मुर्दे के सर पर उठाता है। इसका गुनाह तो मुझे हैरान कर गया, बाकी क़िसास रह गया और सर उतर गया, बाकी क़िसास रह गया और सर उतर गया। ये सुन के और कांपे फिरंगी के दस्तों पा, कहने लगा यजीद से तूने न कुछ कहा। पूछे जो शाह रूम करूं उससे अर्ज क्या, ये किस का सर है नाम बता और नस्ब बता। बोला शकी के बंद करो शोरो शैन को, के कह दीजियो यजीद ने मारा हुसैन को, कह दीजियो यजीद ने मारा हुसैन को। उसने कहा जो कुल का है सुल्तान वो हुसैन, नाना को जिसके आया है कुरान वो हुसैन, जिसके पिदर के सब्बा है एहसान वो हुसैन, माँ जिसकी फातिमा है मैं कुर्बान वो हुसैन। जिस पर नबी ने अपने पिसर को फिदा किया, खालिक ने जिसको बच्चे आहू अता किया, खालिक ने जिसको बच्चे आहू अता किया। हाकिम ने सर हिला के कहा हाँ वही हुसैन, मुंह पीट कर पुकारा फिरंगी बशोर व शैन। गारत करे शिताब तुझे रब्बे मशरक़ैन, सर काट कर हुसैन का खोया अली का चैन। ऐ अहले शाम क्यों यही मजहब तुम्हारा है, नाना का कलमा पढ़ के नवासे को मारा है, नाना का कलमा पढ़ के नवासे को मारा है। सलवात अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद, अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद,
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंदतर सलावत। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद। पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। ये ये कैसी कैद है बाबा, ये कैसी कैद है बाबा, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। मैं एक कोने में बैठी हुई हूँ, सहमी हुई, मैं एक कोने में बैठी हुई हूँ, सहमी हुई, दिखाई कुछ नहीं देता, दिखाई कुछ नहीं देता, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। अगर हो ना तो असगर को साथ मत लाना, अगर हो ना तो असगर को साथ मत लाना, जहाँ मैं कैद हूँ बाबा, जहाँ मैं कैद हूँ बाबा, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। बहन से मिलने को आओ तो ऐ अली अकबर, बहन से मिलने को आओ तो ऐ अली अकबर, तो एक चराग़ भी लाना, तो एक चराग़ भी लाना, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना, बड़ा अंधेरा है। बहुत तड़प थे सजाद ये सदा सुनकर, बहुत तड़प थे सजाद ये सदा सुनकर, बहन बुलाती है भैया, बहन बुलाती है भैया, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना बड़ा अंधेरा है, तमाचे लगते हैं मेरे जो डर के रोती हूँ, तमाचे लगते हैं मेरे जो डर के रोती हूँ, मगर मैं क्या करूं बाबा, मगर मैं क्या करूं बाबा, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना बड़ा अंधेरा है, कोई चिराग जलाने ना सका हाय, कोई चिराग जलाने ना सका हाय, पुकारती रही दुखिया, पुकारती रही दुखिया, बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना बड़ा अंधेरा है, पुकारी रो के सकीना बड़ा अंधेरा है। मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि
मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद वाले दीगर सलावत। इमाम ज़माना वाले दीगर सलावत।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
रहिमल्लाहु मन यक़रा अल-फ़ातिहा।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद।
अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। अस्सलातु वस्सलाम वत्तहिय्यतु वल इकराम अला नबिय्यिल उम्मिय्यिल अरबिय्यिल क़ुरैशिय्यिल मक्किय्यिल मदनिय्यिल हाशिमी साहिब क़ाब क़ौसैन महबूब रब्बिल मशरिक़ैन वल मग़रिबैन जद्दिल हसन वल हुसैन नबिय्यिल हरमैन वल इमामिल क़िबलतैन वर रसूलिल थक़लैन अल्लज़ीना सुम्मिया फ़िस समाए बिअहमद व फ़िल अर्ज़ि बिअबिल क़ासिम मुहम्मद।
अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि मुहम्मद
व अला अहलि बैतिहि तय्यबीन अत्ताहिरीन अल-मासूमीन अल-मज़लूमीन अल-मुंतख़बीन अल-मुंतजबीन ला सियमा बक़ियतिल्लाहि फ़िल अरज़ीन रूहि व अरवाहुल आलमीन لتراب مقدمه الفداء واللعنة الدائمة الباقية على أعدائهم ومنكر فضائلهم وخاسب حقوقهم أجمعين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه تبارك وتعالى في محكم كتابه ومتقن خطابه: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. من اهتدى فإنما يهتدي لنفسه ومن ضل فإنما يضل عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى وما كنا معذبين حتى نبعث رسولا. رسالة صلوات على محمد وعلى محمد. In honor of the prisoners of Karbala, recite another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And to hasten the reappearance of our awaited Imam, recite a third loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Wajil farajum. This is verse number 15 of Surah number 17, Surah Isra or Surah Bani Israel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this verse draws our attention towards three particularly important things. He starts by saying, Man ihtada fa innama yahtadi li nafsih. Whosoever accepts the guidance, whosoever takes the guidance, whosoever becomes righteous as a result of accepting the guidance, does so only for the benefit of themselves. Neither does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala get any benefit from a person accepting the guidance, nor does the Messenger of Allah receive any benefit from a person getting the guidance, but rather that self, that nafs themselves who accepts the guidance is the one who gets benefit from this guidance. Conversely, وَمَنْ ضَلَّ فَإِنَّمَا يَضِلُّ عَلَيْهَا. The person who doesn't accept the guidance, the person who is misguided, the person who rejects the guidance, doesn't harm anybody other than their own self. So whether they accept the guidance or they don't accept the guidance, the benefit and the harm that comes as a result of it only goes to oneself. It doesn't go to anybody else. وَلَا تَزِرُ وَازِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. And to emphasize this even more, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that, remember, no person would take the burden of another person. No person can take the burden of another person, whether that burden is of good or of evil. The importance of this, of course, is that at the time of the revelation of the Quran, and even up to today, there are people who possess the belief that due to what somebody did in the past, people today are responsible for it. It's called the concept of original sin. Religion of Islam rejects this concept and says that only the person who does the action will be responsible for the action they did, nor would they be responsible for an action prior to them, nor are they responsible for an action other than an action that they themselves did. Whether that action is that of good or of evil, the action only the person who performs the action would be responsible for. وَمَا كُنَّا. And finally, the third message from the verse, وَمَا كُنَّا مُعَذِّبِينَ حَتَّى نَبْعَثَ رَسُولًا. And we never send down the punishment, we never send down the adhab, except that we send down the messenger with the message before it. So we send, this is the policy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we send the messenger, he sends down the message, he recites the message, he recites our verses, he tells people our message, and then when they reject that message, then we warn them that the punishment is coming, and then they reject our warning, and then we send down the punishment. Since 1st of Muharram, I've been speaking, addressing different majalis, entitled this verse of the Holy Quran. Today I want to speak about, from this particular perspective, regarding a particularly important area, and that is to do with a particular historical incident and how that relates to our lives today. Everything that we come here to hear about and speak about and discuss about are things from the past. There's no claim that anybody who comes here that they'll bring up something that's new or something that you haven't heard before. However, it is from those things from the past that we try and draw lessons for our lives today. And that is the important challenge. How can we take from those things from the past and apply them into our lives and see how those challenges and how the responses to those challenges are relevant to our lives today. Today is the 7th of Zafar al-Muzaffar, and according to most narratives, it's the day that our 7th holy Imam, Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi Salatu Salam, was born. And of course, because it's in the middle of Ayyam Azhar, we don't celebrate that day. But it is important that we reflect on his life, and particularly on some of the challenges from his life that are relevant to our life today. So as I mentioned, this verse of the Quran, it tells us that guidance, if we take the guidance, the benefit is ours. And if we reject the guidance, if we go astray, the harm is also ours. And if we want to examine, and from this it's very obvious that taking the guidance is in my benefit, and staying away from misguidance is also in my own benefit. And that the intellect dictates that that which is in my benefit is something that I should take, I should have, I should strive for. And that which will harm me is something that I should help myself to be away from and prevent myself from going into that place which will bring harm to me. Imam Alayhi's life at a particularly difficult time in the history of Islam gives us an insight into this harm and benefit that accrues as a result of guidance and misguidance. Why? Because whatever we take on in our lives, whatever we do in our lives, are things which have consequences whether we know them or not. I remember, this is a quote from social media, and social media gets lots of bad press nowadays, but sometimes there's things that you get from social media which can be positive. I'm sharing a quote from you that I read on social media some time ago, which is that you are free to choose. You are free in the choices that you make, but you are not free from the consequences of those choices. You are free to choose. You are free to choose, make choices about what you do in life, but you are not free from the consequences of those choices. Once you've made that choice, then the consequence of that choice, you're not free of. That consequence will occur whether I like it or not. Religion of Islam does not legislate to us on the basis of our consequences or circumstances, but it does legislate for us on the basis of how we react towards those particular things. I'll just use one example. It's a detailed discussion, but related to our seventh holy Imam. One example of that: recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. When you go to the books of akhlaq, the books of Islamic ethics, they tell us that human beings have different capabilities. And the role and job and description of akhlaq, Islamic ethics, is to teach us how to use each of those capabilities in the best of their ways. A person who can get the kamal, the perfection of these capabilities, is the one who is the most akhlaq. One of those capabilities is the capability of anger, quwwatul ghadabiyya, the capability of anger. And usually we see this as a negative. The reason why we see it as a negative is because usually when we become angry, we react negatively. But in reality, this quwwa, this sifat, this capability is not a negative. Because we don't find anywhere in Quran or in rawayat from Ma'sumin alayhi salatu salam the order to not be angry. Why? Because this is a capability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us with, and it has a purpose. And ulama of akhlaq are telling us what is the purpose and the kamal of this capability. Notice, I'll share an example with you. Notice, if you notice that there is oppression in the world, something wrong is happening in the world, something wrong happens in front of me. When something wrong happens in front of me, then in my heart I feel that this is wrong. Number one. Number two, I become angry. Why is this wrong happening? Number three, I try and do something to stop that wrong from happening. I try and put it right. This is the quwwat al-ghadabiyya which is making me do all of these things. This is this capability that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created me, which is making me do these things. If I didn't have it, wrong would happen, oppression would happen, injustice would happen, people would be killed, people would get attacked, and I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't react because I would not have this capability to react. I would not have this quwwah to react with. Quran says what? The Holy Quran says, وَالْكَاذِمِينَ الْغَيْظِ. The believers are those who control their anger, who know how to react when they become angry. Imam alayhi salatu salam also says, Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salatu salam says, that it is that reaction that you have after you become angry which makes you regretful. When a person becomes angry and then they react negatively, then they are regretful after having calmed down. They say, if only I had not reacted in that way. Our seventh holy Imam, Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi salatu wassalam, who was born on the 7th of Zafar 128 after Hijrah in Abwa, which is a place halfway between Mecca and Medina, where the mother of the Holy Prophet Hazrat Amina is buried, and was martyred on the 25th of Rajab 183 after Hijrah at Baghdad, and later buried at Kadhimiya. His famous title is Al-Kadhim, the one who controls his anger. And it's fascinating if you look at his life, if you look at this holy Imam Salamullah alayhi's life. It's fascinating that One of the reasons, if you examine his life and you look at his sirat and the way that he lives his life, is that one of the reasons why he's called Al-Kadhim is not just because when he becomes angry he controls his anger, but in his life, out of compared to all of the other A'immah alayhi salatu salam, he is made angry more times. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. You test somebody, then they get to a point which we call breaking point. This person says, I can't go anymore. I cannot display patience anymore. I cannot withhold my anger anymore. I'm going to burst. Imam Jafar alayhi salatu salam is called Al-Kadhim because no matter how many times you put him through difficult situations, he still reacts in the same way. This is the important thing. No matter how many times you put him in this difficult situation, he still reacts in the same way. This Imam of ours, what's the context of his time, in order for us to appreciate some of the stories that I'll mention to you? We have to know what is the context of his time, what are the challenges of his time, and how does he react to them, and how does in those challenges does he do the important role of which he's been assigned, which is what? Which is to preach the message of Islam and to protect his followers in each time. This is the role of each and every Imam in their respective time. But what is the context of his time that he is in, that he has to do these things? So our 7th Holy Imam, he's born in 128 after Hijrah. 128 after Hijrah is the final years of the Banu Umayyah rule. The Bani Umayyah rule ends in 132 after Hijrah. This is when he's born. This is our 6th Holy Imam's time. He is 20 years old when his father, our 6th Holy Imam, is made Shaheed. And he takes on the office of Imamat at the age of 20. Now it's 148 after Hijrah. In this time, how difficult a time is this time when he takes on the office of Imamat, when he assumes the role and responsibility of Imamat. Can be gauged from this action of our 6th Holy Imam. Our 6th Holy Imam, when he's made Shaheed, just before he's made Shaheed, he writes a testament, a will and a testament, and he seals it. And he orders that it's not to be opened until he's been buried into the ground. Our 6th Holy Imam, Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, says that I want you to make sure that this is not opened until I have been buried into the ground. Our 6th Holy Imam alayhi salam is buried, then that testament is opened. When it's opened, when they read it, everybody is astounded, very surprised at this testament. But what's going to happen will explain the reasoning behind the testament. The testament states that the successor after me, after Ja'far ibn Muhammad, the successor after me is number 1, Mansur al-Abbasi, the Khalifa of the time. Number 2, the governor of Medina. Number 3, Abdullah ibn Aftah, one of the sons of the Imam. Number 4, Hamida Khatun, the wife of the Imam. And number 5, Imam Musa ibn Jafar. When they open the testament, everybody's surprised to read this. Until at that moment, as soon as the testament's been opened, governor of Medina receives a letter from Mansur al-Abbasi. In this letter, Mansur al-Abbasi says that I want you to go and open the testament that Jafar ibn Muhammad has left behind and take the successor whom he is named, cut off his head and send it to me. Governor of Medina writes back to Mansur al-Abbasi and he says, either you come to Medina and cut off my head, or I come to Baghdad and I'll cut off your head. Mansur al-Abbasi is confused. He says, what do you mean? He says, this is the testament and this is what it says. This testament is intended to, or was intended to, protect our seventh holy Imam, alayhi salatu wasalam. Why? Because those who are followers of the Imam will know that Mansur al-Abbasi cannot be the successor, that he's an oppressor. They know that governor of Medina cannot be the successor either, because he is an aid to the oppressor. They know that Abdullah ibn Aftah cannot be the successor either, because it's mentioned, Aftah means the one who's flat-footed or open-footed. It's mentioned that Abdullah ibn Aftah was called Aftah because he had a physical deformity in one of his feet. And it is amongst the conditions of an Imam to be physically, mentally, and in all respects totally capable. His Hamida Khatun can't be the Imam because she's a woman, and therefore it leaves Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi salatu wasalam as the Imam. Recite Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala. So this is the situation, that it's not possible for Imam alayhi salam to appoint his successor openly. This is the situation in which our seventh holy Imam is taking on the responsibility of Imamate. Now when he becomes the Imam, when he's taken on the responsibility of Imamate, there are disagreements among people who are followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. And this is also an important lesson. Maybe inshallah tomorrow or Sunday I'll mention this in some more detail relevant to our situation today. But today I want to refer to a particular incident from the Imam's life. And that is that Imam alayhi salam, now he's taken on the responsibility of Imamate. And in this time, Mansur al-Abbasi is the Khalifa. Mansur al-Abbasi, after some months, passes away. After him, his son Mahdi becomes the Khalifa, and then after 10 years of Mahdi being the Khalifa, when he dies, his son Hadi becomes, his brother Hadi becomes the other son of Mansur al-Abbasi, becomes the Khalifa. And this incident which I want to speak about today, very important incident in the time of our seventh holy Imam, takes place when Hadi becomes the Khalifa in the year 169. Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi salatu wasalam is the Imam. He is in this difficult situation. Everything that's taking place within this Abbasid time is to constantly undermine the Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, for a particularly important reason. The Umayyad clan had a historic enmity with Bani Hashim, with the Hashemites, and they therefore used all their efforts to go against Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, which is well known, and their enmity and their hatred was open and apparent. The Abbasid clan are relatives of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. They share a common ancestor. Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib was the uncle of the Holy Prophet of Islam. So why is it that the Abbasid clan has enmity towards Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam? Surely they are your relatives. For what reason do you have enmity towards Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam? For this there's a background that we need to know. What is this background? The background to this is at the end of the Umayyad rule, at the end of the Umayyad, as the Umayyad dynasty is coming to its end and their oppression has got to unprecedented levels. This group of people from Bani Abbas, they come together and they say that we want to remove Banu Umayyah from rule. And we will remove Banu Umayyah from rule and we will replace them with Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam, who are divinely appointed to rule. For this, they have meetings with various different people from the Sadat, from the progeny of the Holy Prophet of Islam. They come and they meet the Imam alayhi salam. Imam alayhi salam doesn't give them, they come to meet Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu salam doesn't give them much time of day. Then they go to meet other people. Of course, there are other Sadat as well. There are other people from Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu salam present in that time as well. They go to meet these people. One of the people whom they meet and they have an agreement with is called Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya. He is the grandson of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam. So they have a deal with him. Abu Abbas, who's the first Abbasid Khalifa, Mansur, who's the second Abbasid Khalifa, and Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya have an agreement. What is the agreement? The agreement is that after the Banu Umayyah are removed from power, Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya will become the Khalifa. Imam Sadiq alayhi salatu wasalam advises his cousin Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya that these people, they are not to be trusted upon. Don't trust these people that they would give you power when they come into power, because that's not going to happen. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam only advises. Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya feels very confident that he has an agreement with them in which he will become the Khalifa. When the Abbasids take over power, when they remove Banu Umayyah from office and they kill them and they kill 80 of them in one day, and Abu Abbas, then Mansur decides that now Abu Abbas should become the Khalifa. And when Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya protests, Abu Abbas says that we are Ahlul Bayt. Bani Abbas are Ahlul Bayt. So in order to deprive or in order to deny the right of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam, the Banu Abbas, when they come into office, come up with various different concoctions and various different theories in order to deny Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam from their rights. Into the detailed topic in itself, I don't want to mention all the details, but one or two indications so that you can appreciate the origins of where some of these unfounded allegations come from. Number one, because Muhammad Nafs al-Zakiyya was from the progeny of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu salam, therefore Banu Abbas needed something to discredit Imam Hassan alayhi salatu salam himself in order to deny his progeny the rights towards Khilafat. Therefore Mansur al-Abbasi, when he becomes the Khalifa, comes onto the mimbar and he says that this matter of Khilafat, this matter of authority had nothing to do with us. It was between Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam and Banu Umayyah. Until one day that Hasan al-Mujtaba alayhi salatu salam sold the matter of Khilafat to the Amir of Sham for 60,000 dinars, and whatever was remaining of it he received in its wealth. This is what Mansur al-Abbasi said regarding Imam Hassan alayhi salatu salam. And so, today when accusations regarding Imam Hassan alayhi salatu salam come, then you know that the first person to come up with this objection was Mansur al-Abbasi in order to discredit Muhammad Nafs Zakiyah from Khilafat. Now the matter still remained, that what if this was to discredit the descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salam from Khilafat? What if the descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salam claimed Khilafat? How then would they respond to the matter that Imam Hussein alayhi salam's descendants would to be deprived of Khilafat, and how Bani Abbas would receive Khilafat? In order to do so, they relied on a rule that existed in the pre-Islamic times regarding inheritance. In the pre-Islamic times, a rule regarding inheritance that existed was that if you descended from a male relative, you received a share in the inheritance. But if you descended from a female, then you didn't get any share in the inheritance. This was a pre-Islamic rule. When the religion of Islam came, it abolished this rule and said that whether you descend from a male or a female, you receive the same share in inheritance. So they claimed, now Mansur al-Abbasi made his next claim, which was that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu salam, Aimma of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam descend from the Holy Prophet through a female, through Fatima Az-Zahra Salamullah alayha. Whereas we are related to the Holy Prophet of Islam through a male, an uncle, Abbas ibn Abdul Muttalib. And therefore we have a greater right over the Khilafat than the descendants of Imam Hussain alayhi salatu salam. So this is the Mansur Abbasi starts this policy in the 7th Holy Imam alayhi salam's time. That through this he discredits Imam Hassan alayhi salam, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, and all of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu salam. Finally, as a result of this, because the descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu salam realize, Muhammad Nafs Zakiyah realizes that he has been played, that they used him in order to get the Khilafat, and now they have deprived him and taken over the Khilafat and claimed that it belongs to them in the first place. Muhammad Nafs Zakiyah is killed. After Muhammad Nafs Zakiyah, there is a grandson of Muhammad Nafs Zakiyah, who's also called Hussein. He's the great-great-grandson of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam. And this torture, oppression and disgrace is continuing towards the descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. When Mansur al-Abbasi wants to create the city of Baghdad, he has thousands of Sadat, majority of them descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, in prison. When he wants to create the city of Baghdad, he says to the carpenters building the walls that you're going to build the walls without any water. So they say, how can we build walls without water? They say, wherever you need water, you're going to use the blood of these people. Every day you tell me how much blood you need, and I will release people from prison. I will bring them here, you can kill them and take their blood and add it to the soil and then build the walls. This is the beginning of oppression against descendants of, particularly of Imam Hassan alayhi salam, because of that deal. And there's another reason behind it. This other reason is what? Is that the hadith of the Holy Prophet of Islam is very well known. That the Qa'im, the 12th Holy Imam, the savior of humanity, his father's name will be Hassan. Therefore, Banu Abbas say that let's kill all the descendants of Imam Hassan alayhi salam so that the Qa'im is never born. Of course, those who are ignorant of history, those who want to remain ignorant of history, and those who think that they can go against the wills of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would always act in this way. Otherwise, Fir'aun had tried to kill all the babies in order to prevent Musa from being born. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still made sure that Musa not only was born but was taken care of in the court of Pharaoh. Therefore, this was not going to work. But this was the reasoning behind targeting Sa'adat from Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam's descendants. One such Sayyid of this line is, as I say, Hussein ibn Hassan, who is the great grandson of Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam. This time, imagine, this is the difficult time, that you are having people from your relatives being killed in this way. You're having people from your relatives being tortured in this way. Not only that, you're having people from your relatives, from your family, being accused of Gunahane Kabira, of great sins, that this person, alayhi billah, he drinks alcohol. This person, alayhi billah, he kills people. This person, he tortures people. This person, he commits zina. So on and so forth. All false allegations in order to humiliate them in public. This place and this particular battle which is about to take place in the 7th Holy Imam's time is prophesied by our 6th Holy Imam. He's coming back from Hajj one time and he stops at a place just outside Makkah and he offers a 2 rakat prayer there. So one of his companions says to him, Ya ibn Rasulullah, is this prayer that you prayed a part of the Hajj? And the Imam says, no, it's not part of the Hajj. He says, then how come you stopped here and you prayed a prayer here? He said, because this place is called Fakh, and some years after me, a descendant of Imam Hassan alayhi salam will be killed here, and his head will be cut off from his body, and his body will stay on the soil here, just as our grandfather Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam was killed in Karbala, and his head was cut off from his body, and his body was lay burning on the sand of Karbala. And remember that those people who will die from my descendants from the Sadat, their souls will precede their bodies to paradise. And therefore, to honor them, I have prayed a 2 rakat prayer here. This is called Fakh. It's 6 kilometers from Makkah. And its importance is that later Imams, Imam al-Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, Imam al-Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam, mentioned the importance of this particular battle and place, saying that if after Karbala we had any calamity which was comparable to Karbala, then it was the incident of Fakh. And those of you who recall that when Di'bal al-Khuzai recited a famous poem in the presence of Imam al-Rida alayhi salam, in his poem the incident of Fakh has been mentioned. So what happened at this incident? Why is it so important? Why is it so significant? And what is the role of the Imam alayhi salam in this particular incident and this event? So first of all, is the great grandson of Imam Hassan alayhi salam in this place of Fakh, that he comes to the Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi salam, and he says to him that, Ya ibn Rasulullah, this is this difficult situation that we're going through. We're being accused of things that we haven't done. We're being accused of being sinners. We're being accused of going against the government. We're being accused of committing zina, of drinking alcohol, of doing torture, so on and so forth. And we can't bear it anymore. Now imagine that all of these things that these people are being accused of, Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam is also being accused of. But Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam is demonstrating patience. This is why he's called Al-Kadhim. That in this time, in these circumstances, in these difficulties, he's still displaying control of anger. Hussein ibn Hassan comes to the Imam and he says that I can't bear this anymore. I can't bear this, all of this accusations, this slander against me and my family members anymore. Imam says to him, if you think that you can't bear it and you want to rise against the Khalifa, then you can do so. But remember that you will be killed as a result of this. And this is how you will be killed, because it's been prophesied, this is what's going to happen. Imam reminds him, he says, this is what's going to happen. Don't think that if you rise that you would survive as a result of that. You will die. You will be killed. He says, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, I've tried to bear it, I've tried to accept it, but I can't bear it anymore. He leaves from the presence of the Imam, he gathers an army. And he rises, and as the Imam had predicted, he is killed. Along with all of his family members, their heads are cut off and their bodies are laid on the ground without any burial, and their heads are taken towards Baghdad. When this happens, the news of this comes to the Khalifa to Hadi. He says that I am sure that Musa ibn Ja'far is behind this. I am sure that Imam Musa ibn Ja'far has done this in order to destabilize my government. And then he says that if it wasn't for the great rank and status of Ja'far ibn Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, then I would have dug up his body, I would have opened up his grave and dug up his body. Abu Yusuf, who is the Chief Justice of the Abbasid court, says to Hadi, he says, calm down, there's no need to dig up anybody's graves. And he assures him, he says, I assure you that Imam Musa ibn Ja'far is not behind this. He says, I assure you that Imam Musa ibn Ja'far is not behind this. So now imagine this is the difficult situation, and how does the Imam alayhi salam react in this particular time? If we observe the previous Imams as well. Imam Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, we always ask the question that he had his rights taken away, but he doesn't rise. After the event of Karbala, other Aimma alayhimus salam also have the opportunity to rise up against the rulers, but they don't rise. Why? For example, when Zayd alayhi salam rises, before Zayd, when Mukhtar rises, Imam Sajjad alayhi salam doesn't offer any support externally. He doesn't visibly offer any support that he's supporting Mukhtar. When Zayd ibn Ali alayhi salam rises, Mukhtar is somebody from outside. Zayd is the son of the Imam alayhi salam. He's the son of our fourth holy Imam. He's in the time of our fifth holy Imam, and there are all the Muslims from various different schools of thought support him. But Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam doesn't offer any visible support to Zayd, his own brother. When Hassan ibn Hussein rises in the time of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam also doesn't offer any visible support to this person. Why? If you read the Orientalist accounts of this particular incident of Fakh, and even some of the Muslim accounts in the history, you'll find that they will say that Hussein ibn Hassan rose in order to take over the Khilafat. And if Imam alayhi salam had supported him, then people would have said that Imam alayhi salam used him to take over the Khilafat. But A'imma of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu salam are here to demonstrate that we are not here to take over the Khilafat. Why? Because we don't need it. Whether you accept somebody as the Imam or not, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made that person the Imam, he will be the Imam, irrespective of whether people accept him or not. But what is more important to show is that the Imam and every Imam of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salatu wasalam, their priority is to save people's lives, not to waste people's lives. And they would only Allow people to die if dying was superior and dying was more productive and dying was more powerful than staying alive. Otherwise, each and every Imam will do their utmost to protect the lives of themselves and their followers, and will prevent anything happening which would lead to the loss of their lives and the lives of their followers. Important. Now, this is the message comes to Imam Musa ibn Jafar alayhi salam that Hadi is going to send somebody in order to kill you because he believes that you're responsible. And Abu Yusuf has calmed him down, but he's not convinced. Imam Musa ibn Jafar says to his followers and to all the Sadat, those who are surviving, he says to start to recite Dua Joshan al-Saghir. It's mentioned in Mafatih al-Jinan. He says, as soon as you start to recite this dua, you will receive good news. They all mentioned that we recited this dua, Joshan al-Saghir. And the next day, we received the news that Hadi is no more, he's dead. And now Harun Rashid has become the Khalifa. When Harun Rashid becomes the Khalifa, now what does he do? He puts Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salam into prison. He says instead of him being outside and people are getting advice from him, put him into prison. And maybe if we put him into prison, then people would stop following him and stop asking him questions and stop imitating him. But they put him into prison. Imam Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salatu salam is put into prison. 14 years he's in prison. Imagine, 14 years he's in prison. And it's not the prisons that we might think of today, where you get food in the prisons, and you have gym in the prison, and you have all kinds of things in the prisons. We're talking about prisons which the first prison that he's in, it's mentioned that the roof is so low that he can't stand up. The first prison that he's put in, he can't stand up. Imagine how high must the wall be, the ceiling be, that a person can't stand up in a prison, in that prison. So the second prison that he's in is the prison that he can't even do ruku. That's half that height. He can't even do ruku. He says, and then the third prison is just a cylinder. Cylinder. It's a prison where you can't even breathe. And for that it's mentioned that one of the followers used to come and see the Imam alayhi salatu salam. One day he came to see the Imam in this prison that was a cylinder, and he asked the person who was outside, the jailer, he says to him, where's the Imam? He says, do you see over there? He says, I don't see anything. He says, do you see that piece of cloth? He says, that piece of cloth, that's Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salatu salam. That's your Imam. In that situation, for somebody to be one who controls his anger, that's Musa ibn Ja'far alayhi salatu salam. That is a lesson. That, if I am a follower of that Imam alayhi salatu salam, no matter how difficult situation becomes, no matter how impossible world seems, I will find positives in that. Imam Musa ibn Ja'far, in that prison, he says, there's a dua from the Imam. He says, Ya Allah, I used to pray for you to give me exclusive time with you. And so you blessed me by putting me in this situation where there's just you and me and nobody else. Can you imagine? That in such a difficult situation, for a person to find a positive and say that I prayed to you that I want a time where it's just you and me, so you've made this time where it's just you and me. And not only does he do that for himself, but he converts and he changes other people. Harun Rashid's confused. He says, I've done everything and I still can't change this person. People are still following him. He's still worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What do I do? So one day he sends this woman from his court into the prison. And he says, your role is to go in there and to corrupt him and to take him away from the remembrance of God and to engage him, because it's mentioned that she was very beautiful. So she goes into the court and into the prison, and she tries everything that she can. She tries everything that she can, until some days pass and Harun Rashid receives news that she has also become a worshipper of God. She's doing sajda as well, like Musa ibn Jafar is doing sajda. He says, call her back, and he calls her back and he executes her. He says, if she stays alive, she's going to go out and tell people that Musa ibn Jafar is the person who changed me without saying anything. Just by his action. Just by the fact that he, in that difficult situation, continued to remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That woman who had been sent in there to corrupt him came out being a worshipper in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is our seventh holy Imam alayhi salatu wasalam, who is mentioned, he's in prison, not just he's in prison in chains. He's in prison in chains. He has a noose around his neck. His hands are tied and his feet are tied. And yet this doesn't prevent him from the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But he's not the first of our Aimma alayhi salam to be in that situation. Because there's an Imam before him who is also in this situation. But that Imam As-Sajjad alayhi salam will say that, oh my grandson Musa ibn Ja'far, yes, you're in prison. And yes, you are in chains, but you are not comparable to me. You are not comparable to me. Why? You are not comparable to me because there is something that I have. There is something that I have to see. There's something that I have to go through that you don't have to go through. Allahu Akbar. When he used to cry, he would go into sajda and he would cry. And he would cry until he would become unconscious. And they would say to him, Yabna Rasulullah, why is it that you cry? Isn't shahadat, isn't being killed a matter of honor? And Imam raises his head from sajda and he says, you're right. Al-qatlu lana ada wa shahadatu lana karama. To be killed is a habit, and to be honored, to be made shaheed is an honor. But remember that it wasn't just being killed and being made shaheed. But after the event of Karbala, I was dragged through the court and through the bazaar of Kufa and Damascus the way that they drag the animals. Allahu Akbar. The way that they dragged the animals. And I was the only male, and it was my women folk who were being dragged in this way. Worse than they dragged the animals. And remember that yes, while being killed is a habit, while shahadat is an honor, it is neither a habit nor an honor for me to see my women folk, my mothers and my aunts and my sisters being treated in that way, paraded in the public, disgraced and dishonored in that way. You heard just before me in the Martiya that when they came into the court of Damascus. When they came into the court of Damascus, Yazid mockingly asked, he said, who is this young man? And Shimr says to him, this is Ali ibn al-Husayn. He says, I heard that Ali ibn al-Husayn was killed at Karbala. And Imam says, that was my brother Aliun al-Akbar who was killed at Karbala. He says, kill this young man. Why is he alive? I ordered all the men to be killed. Sayyidah Zainab Salamullah Alayha comes in front. She says that before you kill him, you're going to kill me. Before you kill him, you're going to kill me. He says, kill her as well. He says, kill her as well. When he orders this, Fidda, she comes out and she says, how dare you say that? If you're going to kill her, you're going to kill me. Yazid drops the plan for killing anybody. But in the court of Yazid are present dignitaries from different places. I read this with my own eyes in the Maqtal. That there are people from the dignitaries from different places. And one of the dignitaries rises and he says, Yazid, who are these people? Who are these people? And Yazid doesn't want to reply. And that dignitary, you know what he says? He says, Yazid, I am the 33rd descendant of Musa's brother Harun. And from where I come from, people pick up the dust from beneath my feet and they put it on their head. When he hears this, another dignitary stands up and he says, Yazid, do you know that where I live there's a place where there's a hoof of a horse which Isa alayhi salam once rode? And we took that hoof and we made a monument of that hoof, and people come to that hoof and they ask for their prayers and they are granted their prayers. And he says, Yazid, and you did this to the son of your daughter of your prophet? You did this to the son of the daughter of your prophet? Ajrukum Allah. These dignitaries, Yazid says to this dignitary, this person who had talked about the hoof of Isa's horse, he says, have this person killed. He begins to smile. They ask him, why are you smiling? He said, last night in my dream Rasulullah came. Last night in my dream Rasulullah came and he said to me, you and me, we are coming close together soon. I was confused at this dream, but now I understand what it means. Rasulullah had come last night to give me good news of my coming to paradise, because Yazid, you're going to kill me for the love of Hussein alayhi salatu salam. You're going to kill me for the love of Hussein alayhi salam. This is Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam in the court of Yazid. In the court of Yazid, when all of this has taken place, he says, Yazid, give me permission to go onto the pulpit. Give me permission to go on these planks of wood so that I might say something. They don't want him to go on the pulpit. They don't want him to say anything. All of these dignitaries say, what will the young man in chains say? What will the young man in chains say? Reluctantly, Yazid allows the Imam. He comes onto the pulpit. He says, Ana ibn Makkah wal Mina, Ana ibn Zamzam wal Safa. I'm the son of Makkah and Mina. I'm the son of Zamzam and Safa. They're all curious. Who is this person? Then he says, Ana ibn Muhammad al-Mustafa. I'm the son of Muhammad al-Mustafa. In order to silence the Imam, Yazid orders the adhan to be given. When the adhan starts to be given, the Imam pauses his sermon. The Muaddin says, Allahu Akbar. Imam says, Allahu Akbar. Every single bone in my body bears witness that there's nothing greater than Allah. Then Muaddin says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Imam says, I bear witness with all of my existence that there's no God but Allah. Then the Muaddin says, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. The Imam turns to the Muaddin. He says, I swear to you for the sake of the Muhammad Muhammad whose name you mentioned in the adhan, stop the adhan. He stops the adhan, he turns to Yazid. He says, Yazid, whose name was this which was mentioned in the adhan? Is it your grandfather or my grandfather? If you say he's your grandfather, you're a liar. And if you say he's my grandfather, then answer me, why have you taken us as prisoners? Why have you put the women folk as prisoners? Why have you put us in this state when you're mentioning the name of Muhammad in the adhan? Ala wa la'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin wa sayalamu alladhina zalamu ayyamun qalabi yanqalibun inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the acceptance of our majlis. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the forgiveness of our sins and the elevating of the status of our marhumin. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to act according to the teachings of Ma'sumin alayhi salatu salam, to give us the ziyarat in our lifetimes and the shafa'at in the next life, to hasten the reappearance of our awaited Imam, and to make us amongst those who serve him. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ بِحَقِّ مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِهِ الطَّاهِرِينَ.
Ya Hussein, 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 Ya Hussein. ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। कौनैन की हर दौलत देकर इस गम की हिफाजत करना है। शबीर की खातिर जीना है, शबीर की खातिर मरना है। ये जिस्म रहे या मिट जाए, मजलूम का मातम करना है। ज़हरा की तमन्ना पूरी हो, ये जान रहे या लुट जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। इस पर चमकी अजमत के लिए अब्बास ने बाजू दे डाले। इस पर चमकी इज्जत के लिए गाजी ने सहे दिल पर भाले। इस पर चमके मशकीज़े से लिपटे हैं सकीना के नाले। अब्बास अली का परचम है, ये परचम कैसे झुक जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। सालारे हुसैनी क्या कहना, मेराज वफा सरताज वफा। हर मौज तड़पती है अब तक, साहिल से जो तू प्यासा पलटा था। हुक्म हुसैनी जंग न की, हर वार सहा हर जुल्म सहा था। होश में जब तक फिक्र ये थी, प्यासी न भतीजी रह जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए। ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे जब तक के सकत इस जिस्म में है हक अपना अदा कर देना है किस्मत जो सआदत दे हमको ये जान फिदा कर देना है या अश्क से या खूने दिल से इस दामन को भर देना है आई है यहाँ एक शहजादी उम्मीद का दामन फैलाए ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जा ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए वो वक्त है अब तक आँखों में जब खून में था गलता इब्ने अली और गूंज रही थी मक़तल में फरियाद व फ़ुग़ा एक दुखिया की सीने से बहें खून के धारे अब हाथ न रुकने पाए कभी मज़लूम का मातम होता रहे ज़हरा की सदा जब तक आए ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे ये मातम है हल मिन की सदा हर अश्क है जज्बे नुसरत का यूं हक़ की तरफ आ जाने का हासिल है अभी तक एक मौका पहचान ज़मीरो दिल की सदा इस मातम में शामिल हो जा शबीर बुलाते हैं अब तक घर हुर हो कोई तो आ जाए ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए ज़हरा की दुआ है मातम ये मातम कैसे रुक जाए